Hello guys, today's tutorial is about the many things that you can do with your texts or your font, and there is so many things. So I'm just going to touch on 3 today, and then I'm probably going to do a part 1, a part 2, and a part 3 to show you how to use your glyphs and add them to your fonts. So we're going to just do with the offset, the warp, and the curved, how to curve your text. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the curved text. Okay, so sometimes people always want to wonder, how did they get it curved like this? How do you get it to stay like this? You can curve your text to any shape you want. So we are going to start with the circle here. And I'm just going to tell you that if you don't have Designer and above, if you didn't upgrade from the free software, then you may not have access to some of these the tools that I am showing you. But in order to unlock some of these features, you will have to have Designer and above. Okay. All right. So this is the circle. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to duplicate this because I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. I'm going to duplicate it. I right click and duplicate it, or if I needed 3, here's another tip. I just go over to my let me see, not my transfer panel, my duplicate panel, my replicate panel. And if I want 3 of these, I'm going to put 4. I'm not going to use that many, but you can just go that way. You can hit this way. I don't need all this, but that's just another tip on if you want to duplicate something without copying and pasting several pieces of it. Okay. All right. So let's click on this. You always know you double click, you're going into the text format, and you just drag it onto the circle. See? Just drag it on a circle. So as long as you pulling on this little, or I don't know what it is, little gadget thing here, which is in your text mode, pull it here. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people, in order to leave it this way, they make it a compound path. I personally do not do that. This is the way I do it. But before I show you this, make sure before you alter your text that this is the actual font that you want, or the text that you want. Because once you alter your this, then you will not be able to go and make any changes to it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you click on this text here, right now you can see all of these are available for me to change the text. You can change any of them. Okay? Now, when I click on here, I am going to ungroup this. Once I ungroup this, I will not be able to change this. So I'm going to right click, ungroup, and you see over here, I can't edit anything. I can't change it. So I'm going to group this back together. I'm going to click on my circle, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay. You can also do, come on, let's do maybe like a block or a square. Okay. Again, you double click, you bring your text into the edit mode, and let me see if I want to change this font. Let me see here. Hold on. I don't know. Do I like that? Let's change the color. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm going to double click, and remember, we're going to just pull this down, and I don't want it in the inside. Let me make this box a little bit bigger. No, I don't want to open up that. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to double click here and just bring it on the side. You can bring it on this side here. You can bring it on the inside. You can bring it that way, on this way. And as long as you just pull on this and hold your key down, and you can just move it whatever way you want to move it. Okay? I'm going to click on that. I'm going to right click, Ungroup, and then I'm going to go up here on my shortcut and group. Now, I know you guys are probably saying, well, if you right-click and ungroup, why can't you right-click and group? Well, you can, but the way my mind works, I always right-click and ungroup, and then I go up here to the shortcut. Do not follow me. You can right-click and ungroup and group back together again, okay? I just, my mind works a little bit weird. Okay, and then I just delete the square. So, see, this is how you can print it. So, and you can do that basically with any shape you want to do it with. If you want to do a star, let's do a star here. I'm going to take 2 of these out. This is going to be my last example on this one. And let me see. I think I want to do a small... No, I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to do something a little bit smaller here. I don't know. Let's go with this. Okay, we can go with that. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do, I want to duplicate this. So maybe we can make it a little bit longer. So I'm just going to highlight this whole thing. I'm going to group this. No, that's not what I meant to do. I'm sorry. I'm going to ungroup this. And I'm just going to click on this box. Let me move this over. Click on this box. Drag your little piece here. And of course you can go down to, okay, move this. And go down to your font or your text panel and then go to character spacing. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk. But you can either move this out close together or you can spread it out. However you want to do it. And the same thing here. So, same thing here. So you get the gist of it. You can kind of put it anywhere you want. You can spread it out and you can add it, like I said, to any shape you want to add it to. Up closer. So you can just kind of play around with it. But that's it for the shapes. So like I said, you can kind of do any shape. You can add to any shape you want. So that's how we do our curved text. Okay, now we're going to do our offset. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go back to my duplicate panel, what's called replicate, but I think I'm going to want, let me see. Let me do 3 of these. Okay. Oops. I don't like when I'm not working without a mouse because now I, move things around. It's not working right. Okay, so let me change the color here. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to change the font. Let's go to this one. Okay. Okay, so now let me tell you, there's 2 main ways you can use an offset, or how and reason why people, when you use an offset, it's really just giving something a shadow effect. So we're going to start with this offset, and then we're going to go to your offset panel right here. It looks like a star. You're going to click on offset. And there's a couple of ways you can do this offset, but let's just start with this. I'm going to bring our distance down a little bit because I don't want it to be, overlapping. So you can do it, bring it down as far as you want to bring it down. So I'm okay with that. I'm just going to group, and then I'm going to change the color so you can see the back. No, here, I don't have it highlighted. Come on. No. There. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to, let's just make this like a brown, or I don't know if that's like a brown or a burgundy. So this is one way to do your offset. Okay, you can do it like a shadow effect. Okay, that's one way you can do an offset. You can just lay it directly on top of it. All right, and the other way to do an offset, oops, here we go. Another way you can do an offset, we're going to click on this, and we're going to do, we're going to go over to our offset panel. We're going to click offset, but this time I want it to be a lot bigger because I'm going to not use the middle part of this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me, I think that's what I want right there. I'm going to apply. And this time, oops. Oh, oh. Come on. Let's make this like a burgundy color. Okay. And the back can be, see, it's hard to touch. Okay, there we go. I don't know, green. But this time, I'm going to cut this out in the center. So we're not going to have nothing in the middle. It's just going to be, how do you call that? It's just going to take out the middle part, and then when you press it on a shirt, it's only going to show whatever the color the shirt is. So we're going to highlight, I highlight both pieces because it's two pieces right now. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to make this compound path. And all that does is make it one piece instead of the two pieces. So that's it. Makes it one piece instead of the two pieces. And one more way to do the use offset. Now the internal offset is the same thing. It's just like you're going to in the inside of it. So sometimes you might want to make something smaller. Just say if you wanted to, if you had a font and it was like really, really thick, I mean really, really small, or really, really thick. If it's really, really thick and you wanted it to be a little bit smaller, you would use the internal offset. But this one I'm going to show an example, and we're going to use, I'm going to find a really thin, and I think I know which one, I forgot the name of it, that I usually use for this example. I do not remember the name of it, so I have to scroll to find it. Okay. Okay. This is not the one. Oh, it's it. This one. Okay. Well, I don't think that was the one either, but this is a good example. Okay. Say if this is too skinny and I wanted something to be a lot bigger. See, this is, okay, let's do this one. Okay, let's do this one. All right. I wanted to make this a little bit thicker. What you would do is go to your offset panel, click offset, and I like to bring it in a little closer so it's not, you know, especially like the middle part, you want to make sure it's filling out a little more. So we'll go here, here, go up one more here. Okay, and I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to group it. So if you notice, same thing, but just a little bit thicker. just a little bit thicker. Same thing. Okay. All right. And one more thing I wanted to show you with the offset. I wanted to use a font that, let me see. Let me do the, oops, off. Okay. Let's do a font here. You know what? Let's do these offset. Okay, that's better. All right. Okay, so now I don't really have to weld this to show you practice, but just FYI, anytime you do a script, you might want to do a weld. So, and I'm going to show you why, because I can see it just looking at it. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me zoom in here. If you notice, do you see how these are cutting into the other letter? If you print this, it's going to cut all into the other letters. And let me see if I can show you over here in the send panel, and you would be, let me get a smaller cut just to show you here. And I'm going to do lines. So I'm just trying to show you how it cut, but this thick line is not showing you how to. But anyway, you would be able to tell here that if you don't weld this, you see where all those lines are cutting into each letter? That's how it will cut. So I'm going to right click and look at the difference. And I'm going to click weld. Then you see? It actually made it all one piece. So now when it cuts, it's going to cut all on the outside. Okay? Then I'm going to do an offset on this. Now this offset, I want a nice big one. So I am going to, I'm good with this offset that we have right here. Okay, so I'm going to move this. Let me give this some color. And I'm going to release compound path because you see all those pieces we have in the middle. I don't want those pieces. So I'm just going to move this out the way for a second. I'm going to clear all of this off my board. Okay. And all I want is this big background piece. And that's it. Let me zoom out some. Okay. I'm just going to group it and move it out the way. All right. And our last example of what we can do with the font is the warp. Now, the warp, it's going to take a little bit of, I'm just going to do a quick one with the warp just to show you what you can do with it, but you're definitely going to have to play around with the warp thing. Okay, let's go there. Oh, I like that one. All right, so the warp panel is here. Excuse me, wait a minute here. Not here. The little arrow at the bottom, the last tab at the bottom, it looks like a little arrow thing here. Right here, you click on this warp, and you go to the second tab where the ABC. Okay. Oops. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Did it close? Oh, my God. Holy smokes, guys. Let me see what it saved. Yes! Okay, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you see the recovered video. I mean, the recovered documents. What happened was, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I pushed, or it just automatically closed because I don't think I did anything. I think it just shut down on me. I don't know why. But for most part, you can recover things that you didn't save. And that's what all of these are, is things that wasn't saved or was discarded, and it saves it here, recovered under the recovered documents. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry guys, you just seen a mess, but I wasn't going to stop taping because this was just too good. So we're going to finish at the warp. We're going to go to this panel down here. We're going to click on this, and the warp is here. And you're going to click on the second tab. It's the ABC tab. Now, these are different designs that you can do with the warp. So let's just say here. I'm going to click on this one. Oops. Hit this. And then you can just mess around with it. Move the letters around. And, you know, when people usually do the warp, they may end up having the, using the grid, which I hate using, but you can use the grid and the show grid here, and I'm going to take the divisions down to 1, and this is usually like what your mat, the size of your mat, so you can go down here and then you can kind of make things even, but it helps, you know, tremendously with lining something up, however you want to line it up. So that's basically it with the warp. Or you can take this. I'm going to get off this grid. I hate looking at this grid, and I don't know why people work on these grids. Like, it makes me dizzy. Okay, so just say I'm going to do maybe a shape here. And I'm going to go with my 0, or not 0, the shape O, or round, excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to go with this. I'm going to size it a little bit. Move this up here. Hold on. Let me tell you guys something. I'm about to take this off because this snap to grid thing right here, I take it off. It drives me nuts. You know what the snap to grid is? It's like when you moving your text around, it goes in sections. It'll snap to each section. And, you know, I mean, I guess that's good if you're trying to set something up, but I don't like doing that, so I like to move my font around the way I need to move it around. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the center there, and then I'm going to go back to my warp panel. Let me bring this down a little more. And I think I'm going to go, let's just go with this. So I'm going to bring it to the shape. So if you're trying to bring it to the shape, you're just going to bring it straight to the center. And again, you could use the grid to you know, make this even, but you know, you can bring it all the way down till it touches, the letter touches the top of your shape. I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to bring this out. And that's it. And then you could just kind of mess with it, I guess, and, you know, get your shape right. And let me give you a good, let's send that to the back. Voila! All right, guys, that is it. I am so sorry for the closing thing. I hope we were still recording. I didn't even check yet. If not, I'm going to cry and then do it all over again tomorrow. Okay, so we learned how to curve our texts. We learned how to do offsets. We learned how to either make our font that we really like either thinner or thicker. And we learned how to mess around with the warp. And that is it. If you have any questions, comments, and then we'll have a part 2 learning how to use the glyphs and different things like that. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment, and hopefully we can go into more details of learning how to, or get more in depth of the different, especially the warp, because there's so much more you can do with um, this warp panel. All right, guys, have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon.